The world transforms after midnight. While most people sleep safely in their beds, there's an entire workforce that keeps society running through the darkest hours. Night shift workers see things that daylight employees never witness. They encounter situations that defy explanation, stumble upon discoveries that change everything, and sometimes face terrors that make them question whether the extra pay is worth it. Tonight, I'm bringing you true stories from real night shift workers who found something after midnight. Something they weren't supposed to see, something that still haunts them years later. These accounts come from hospital workers, security guards, warehouse employees, gas station attendants, and others who've shared their experiences. Names and some details have been changed to protect identities. But the core of what happened remains exactly as they told it. So turn down your lights, settle it, and let me tell you what they found after midnight. Story 1. The Hospital Basement. Sarah had been working as a night nurse at County General for 3 years when she volunteered for the graveyard shift. The pay differential was significant. And she'd always been a night owl anyway. Most nights were routine checking vitals, administering medication, updating charts. But what happened on October 15th changed everything. It was 2:47 a.m. when Sarah received a call from the pharmacy. They needed someone to retrieve a specific medication from the auxiliary storage in the basement. The main pharmacy was out, and a patient needed it urgently. Sarah had been to the basement storage only once during her orientation. But she remembered the general location. She took the service elevator down, her badge beeping as she swiped through security doors. The basement level was older than the rest of the hospital, part of the original building from the 1950s. The fluorescent lights flickered intermittently, casting shadows that seemed to move on their own. Sarah found the storage room and located the medication quickly. As she turned to leave, she heard a rhythmic beeping coming from somewhere deeper in the basement. It sounded like a heart monitor, but there shouldn't have been any equipment running down here, let alone patients. She followed the sound through a corridor she hadn't noticed before. The beeping grew louder. At the end of the hallway, she found a door marked Ward C authorized personnel only. The sign looked old, the paint faded and peeling. Through the small window in the door, Sarah could see dim lights and what appeared to be hospital beds. Her curiosity overcame her better judgment. She swiped her badge, expecting it not to work. But the door clicked open. Inside was a fully equipped hospital ward, though clearly from a different era. The beds had old-fashioned metal frames, and the monitoring equipment looked like something from the 70s. But the strangest thing was that 3 of the beds were occupied. Sarah approached the first bed. An elderly man lay there, connected to various monitors. His chest rose and fell rhythmically. He appeared to be sleeping, or perhaps in a coma. She checked the chart at the foot of the bed. According to the paperwork, the patient's name was Robert Morrison, admitted in 1982. The date written there was over 40 years ago. Her hands trembling, Sarah checked the other 2 beds. Both patients appeared to be in similar states, stable but unconscious, maintained by life support systems. Their charts showed admission dates from 1979 and 1984. All 3 patients had the same diagnosis written in faded ink: condition unknown status, observation indefinite. Sarah's mind raced. How could these patients have been here for decades without anyone knowing? She pulled out her phone to take pictures, but there was no signal in the basement. As she debated what to do, she heard footsteps in the corridor. A man in a white coat appeared in the doorway. He was elderly, perhaps in his 70s, with wire-rimmed glasses and a concerned expression. "You shouldn't be here," he said quietly. Sarah's training kicked in. "I'm Nurse Patel from the 4th floor. Who are these patients? Why aren't they in the system?" The man sighed deeply and gestured for her to sit. "My name is Dr. Raymond Chan. I've been caring for these 3 patients since I was a resident. They're not in the system because officially, they don't exist anymore." Dr. Chen explained that in the late 70s, the hospital had admitted 3 patients who fell into unexplained comas after exposure to an unknown chemical during an industrial accident. Despite extensive testing, doctors couldn't identify the substance or understand its effects. The patients remained in stable comas, neither improving nor deteriorating, as years passed and the hospital expanded. Administration decided these mystery cases were too complex and potentially embarrassing to keep on the books. The families had long since stopped visiting, having given up hope. Rather than making difficult decisions about care, the hospital created this secret ward, and Dr. Chen, who felt responsible for his patients, volunteered to maintain them. "I'm old now," Dr. Chen said. "I've been wondering what will happen to them when I'm gone. Maybe you finding them tonight was meant to happen." Sarah was torn. These patients deserved proper care and dignity, but exposing the secret would create a massive scandal. She made a decision. "We need to do this right. Let me help you bring this to the medical director confidentially. These patients deserve to be acknowledged." Over the next few weeks, Sarah and Dr. Chen worked with hospital administration to carefully bring the secret ward into the light. The patients were moved to proper rooms, their cases were reviewed by modern specialists, and their families were contacted. Remarkably, one of the patients began showing signs of consciousness after being treated with a new neurological protocol. Sarah still works the night shift, but she never looks at the hospital's older wings the same way. She wonders what other secrets might be hidden in the places no one thinks to look.